Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's just after Christmas, 2 days after Christmas, and I made myself come out into the greenhouse because things needed watered, and I have had an attack of the aphids. Give you a close-up look here of what it's doing, what they are doing to my beautiful habaneras and my other pepper plants. First of all, I got so busy with preparing for Christmas that I neglected them, and yes, they needed water. So most of this guy's problem is it was thirsty. So my daughter and I came out here and watered, and we will keep track of them a lot better now that Christmas is over. Once Christmas is over, I want to get in the garden. I don't know about you, but I'm like, okay, Christmas is over. That was fun. Let's go. We had a very rainy Christmas, quite green. It was not snowy at all. It usually gets a little tiny bit of snow here, but this year it most definitely did not, and it was really warm. Kind of a strange year. I think it's what my mom would have called an open winter, if I'm using the term correctly. So I thought we'd just jump back in it. I am definitely going to get out my tomato seeds, and I'm going to go through them. I see what I have, what I don't. And I wanted to share with you how much I actually grew of tomatoes this year. It was not nearly as much as last year. And go through which varieties were the best for me, which ones worked great, which ones I'm not going to grow again, and why. So stay tuned for that video. But today my daughter and I have made up a solution of garlic water. So all you have to do is peel some garlic cloves, or even use the minced garlic like I have in my refrigerator, which you would soak in water overnight, at least overnight. Make sure you use a pitcher or a vessel that you never want to use again, because you will never get the garlic smell out. So you could use an empty milk jug that was cleaned out, fill it with water, pop in a bulb of garlic. Make sure you peel each of the cloves and have all the papery skin off of them, and then just let it set overnight if possible. So that will be a good thing to use. And then I'm using a few drops of Dawn dishwashing liquid, and that's what I'm going to try and see if we can save some of these beautiful peppers. Of course, they've hit my habanero peppers the worst. So I'm holding the camera with the right hand and spraying with the left. And I am right-handed, so we'll see how this goes. All right, so we've got a good coating of that on them. I think we're going to trim off the leaves of a couple of these and see if that helps. The official recipe that I found on Google to make the garlic water spray is 8 to 10 garlic cloves. They recommend that you smash them up in a blender and make a paste, but for the ease of being able to spray it, I think I'm just going to kind of smash them a little bit, soak them in the water overnight, and then drain them, and then put it in my spray bottles. You can also add some hot pepper, like cayenne pepper, a few shakes of that, and then they say 3 to 4 cups of water, but I'm going to use a gallon container and just make enough so I'll have some. So that's what we're doing today, trying to save some of these plants. It'll be interesting to see if it works, so stay tuned. I also wanted to show you that these Sun Gold cherry tomato plants are still alive from last fall, probably planted in July. I didn't have enough time to get them out, but I am nursing them along, and now that Christmas is over, I have some more potting soil, and I'm going to separate them and put them in their own pots and nurture them, turn up the heat a little bit, and try to get them to grow nice and healthy. I might put this off for another month if I can just nurse them along like this so that they don't get too big too soon. But I thought that was a very interesting experiment. I know the plants look really bad, but this is my first year to really experiment with bringing the peppers in and so many cherry tomatoes in. And, you know, what's it going to hurt? nothing else, I'll throw them in the compost or burn them in the burn pile. See how many little habaneras are on this plant? I'm really hoping that the spray, which is garlic water, a drop of Dawn dish soap, and a couple shakes of hot pepper, cayenne pepper, will really help get rid of these awful aphids. You'd think they would die in the winter, but because we have a little bit of heat in here, they haven't. And my poor tomato plants are looking definitely worse for wear. This is the best looking one so far, and this is the 42-day. It actually has some blooms on it. I give them a tiny bit of fertilizer, no more than every 3 weeks to a month, just to try to keep them alive. But it's a fun experiment. It's not a waste of time. I still have my cabbage growing in this pot. It's an Earliana type cabbage. It's looking kind of healthy. If we can get these aphids off of it. This plant, Anaheim chili pepper, looks pretty much dead, but it's not. And look what it grew. It grew it in here, in this greenhouse. So all is not lost. And we have some celery, more tomato plants. Anyway, I just think it is hopeful and gives you a little bit of the gardening year to enjoy. Here's another pepper plant. I need to get out here and trim them, but I am going to give myself a pass because of the Christmas season and how much fun I have with that, with my grandkids and my family. So that's okay. You have to give yourself some slack. Give yourself a pass now and then, even if things aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. I've never professed to be, and I don't want to be. It's too much energy to try to keep up with that label you stick on yourself. So I wanted to quickly share with you what's going on in my poor greenhouse. That you don't have to be a perfect gardener to garden. That all you have to do is try, and if it fails, you put it in the compost, feed it to the chickens, or burn it in the burn pile, because you can use the ash from your burn pile. So nothing gets wasted. I need to look into this phenomenon more, but my tomato plants are not really touched by the aphids. So there must be something within the tomato plant that repels the aphids. So Krista from Almost a Green Acre has trimmed her pepper plants on her channel, and I want to give a shout out to her. I have watched a couple of other ones, and I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants again. But it looks like what you want to do, and I didn't bring out my tripod for my camera, so I'm holding it in one hand and pruning with another. So let's see what we can do. But it looks like they found the main stem, and because this one is sticking out so much, I think, first of all, we're going to remove this stick that was holding it up earlier. And let's see. It's really hard to tell where the main stem is because there's 3 of them going off this one. Okay, I think I see it there. So I'm going to remove this one. Sorry about the poor camera work. Wow, that is tough. We're just going to let them fall because I have one hand. And remove all these down here. So to me, it looks like that is the main stem right there. This one is an offshoot. Get that one off. All the lovely little aphids are falling on me. It's a lovely experience. And this is an offshoot. Both of these. My cute little habaneras. I'm going to take them in and try to wash them and save them. But because of the aphids, there's a really sticky substance all over everything, and it's kind of gross. So, let's keep trimming all these lower branches off. Now it looks like the stem here, no, it didn't grow into a V so bad. This is still another offshoot. And this one, I'll move these down here. Oh, these are pretty much dead, so I don't have to worry about removing the habaneros. And I guess you're supposed to go up to where there's a V. So we'll take this one off, this one, and then I think you cut it. I'm going to cut it down just like this. And so that's all I'm going to do other than clean it up right now. Clean up all those leaves, get it all cleaned up and pretty. Spray it one more time with the garlic water, and then I'll show you later on if this is helpful at all. So I said there wasn't aphids on my tomatoes, but there's one little booger right there. So I'm going to spray them too. Okay, well, I will check back with you. What it looks like after I got it all trimmed and cleaned up. I cleaned around the soil and I pulled off some of the topsoil, and then I sprayed it all again, including the soil, because they, I'm sure, hang out in the soil. So don't forget to spray the soil as well. And then I'm going to tackle this one because it is pretty much dead. So I pruned this one down up to the V. I really hope it'll live. It'll come back. I've sprayed it really well, cleaned off all the yucky leaves and things down there. And I've put these little sticky insect catchers in a few of the pots to see if that's going to help out. Got one here, and see how they do. I will come back and prune more of these if it looks like it's helpful, if we can get some new growth, or if we can just get some new growth once we've, we have it all sprayed here. See if this one will come back without trimming it back so drastically. But we'll see, won't we? Okay, thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.